Let's talk about why you shouldn't be doing everything yourself anymore. Um, as a business owner, you've got a lot on your to-do list, I imagine, and you've got a lot on your to-do list tomorrow and the next day, and you feel like you have your whole destiny planned out for you because you're so busy with keeping everyone happy and doing whatever needs to be done for anyone at any given moment. And I'm urging you to stop. Just stop and take a breather and think. Think about what needs to get done. There's this common saying that has kind of risen and become this trend that I think I'm not sure how it's still a trend, and how it hasn't been debunked already. I guess it's just, I don't know, something our flesh would kind of just want to say it. But the saying is there's just not enough time in the day to get everything done. And once I debunk this myself, it takes everything in me to not get so frustrated when someone says that. And there's no hate towards any of you, but it just irks me so much. And the reason for that is, I need to pull up my notes again just in case I need them. The reason for that is there's plenty of time in the day, and it's kind of like acting like time is evil, but it doesn't really make sense if you think about it, because time is designed by God himself, and he designed it perfectly, I believe, and that he gave it to us to use it wisely. And everyone gets the same amount of time, so it's not like it's unfair. And it's like, we don't want to die, right? Like, that's not something we really want to do. We don't want to have to die and grow old. But we're all given the same amount of time. There's nothing unfair about that. And death itself is not technically unfair, because that's just how we are. And everyone dies. So, there is enough time. And time was designed with a close sign on it by nightfall every single day. That's the close sign. That's when it's like, okay, you're done. And your body was designed with an expiration time as well. And that is basically every day at night, right? It tells you to rest. And if you don't understand that within this amount of years, then you need to start understanding it now, that there is enough time and it was designed this way for a purpose. And so how are you going to go forward from here? And you've had this many years where you've been upset about the amount of time, but now is the time to actually take it and run with it. So there was a quote that I heard from someone named Tim Ferriss that I heard, and I was like, it changed my view of time forever. The quote is this. I think he said it just in some, I think it's some routine thing he says that, so I just want to leave it to him and his thing. But he said, if you don't have enough time, you don't have priorities. If you don't have time, you don't have priorities. And I heard that, and now whenever I think, oh, I don't have enough time, like, I'm tempted to say that. I never say it out loud, but inside I'm like, I don't have enough time. Like, it's the end of the day and I didn't get anything done. I don't have enough time. And I think, oh, wait, I don't have priorities. I wasted my day. So, if you don't have enough time, you don't have priorities. What does that mean? Well, it means you need to reprioritize every day. Because everyone's got the same amount of time. It just means you didn't choose to put certain things as priorities ahead of all the other things. So I kind of want to lay hard into this whole thing because it's so extremely important that you use your time well. So let's get back to the basics. We all have the same amount of time, and we have all the same amount of time to work through our circumstances and do what we need to get done in that amount of time and control our desired outcomes, in a sense. And also the undesired outcomes. And that's just kind of how it works, I think. So as a business owner, you want to be productive, and I think that's the best way to do it, is control how you're using your time, and be open to helping others and stepping outside of your bounds of time to help others with their time. So let's get to a couple tips that can probably help you spend your time wisely as a business owner. Nothing big, but I think they might be good reminders for you, and maybe spark some thoughts going off in your head that might help you realign with your purpose and how you're going to get to where you want to get. So first one is outsourcing. So you possibly have some employees working under you that are helping you with all the big tasks, and that's great. And I would assume that you are being a great leader and trying to train them to become leaders themselves, and that's awesome. But what are some tasks you absolutely hate that you have to do? I think in order for you to be doing what you need to be doing and to your full potential, that you can help others to your full potential, what are some tasks you really, really hate? And you've got a long list, I'm sure, of those tasks because you have to do them all the time, and you have some sense of responsibility inside that you need to handle these things. But I would guess 90% of the time you don't have to handle those things. So find a way to outsource them for cheap on Upwork, or there's some great VA companies, virtual assistant companies that you can find with a quick Google search, and you can find people overseas that are cheap. Because it's not that you're paying them unfair wages, but it's that's enough for them to get by, and you're actually making someone's day by the amount you're paying them overseas. 2, they speak English fairly well. That's good. And 3, they know what they're doing because they've been doing it. So that's pretty easy to find, and you can find it all with a quick Google search. Find the top ones. Just search top 5 VA outsourcing companies or something like that. Tip number 2 out of 3: how can you use your time wisely as a business owner? What are the top 3 items on your list today that if you got them done, you would be able to go to bed content tonight with the amount that you got done? This is important because everyone has long to-do lists. Like, I've got a long to-do list right here on my desk. But what are the things that you would be content getting done today and be satisfied with those things? That could help you a lot, because it's really easy to feel overwhelmed and say at the end of the day, I only got 3 things done out of my list of 15. That's fine. Just make sure they're the top 3 things that you want to get done. So that's a good question that you can ask yourself so you can be more effective during the day. And then the third thing, if you're a business owner and you want to use your time wisely, what are the time vampires in your life that are sucking the time out of you, that you really just don't need anymore, period? Like, I know business owner Dan Kennedy, if you've ever heard of him. You may or may not have. It depends on what circle you're in. But he only uses fax. He does not use a cell phone because he thinks a cell phone's a waste of time. I would guarantee, I wouldn't guarantee, but I would probably bet that you don't need a cell phone as much as you think you do. Another thing he talks about is an open door policy, and how he dislikes that. Now, you can debate that. Like, you want to be transparent and you want to be open to having good conversations with your employees because you want to be on good terms with them and encourage that openness. But at the same time, he says a closed door policy is what he runs because he doesn't want to be bothered by everyone every day, because people will just come to you with things they could figure out themselves or things that really aren't big priorities. And things they can figure out themselves. So I just want to encourage you to go and figure out what you really, really need to do, and the other things that you can just knock off your list or tell another employee to handle, or slowly drift off other tasks to other people, so that you are focusing on what you need to focus on. And those are the three things. But one last thing I wanted to leave with you is that just stay positive. This is a heavy one for me, especially because I struggle with positivity a lot. Like right now, it's 10:30 at night, and I'm like, this is not my normal bedtime. This is a little later. Am I even gonna make it tomorrow? Am I gonna do well? Am I gonna be too tired? Am I gonna accidentally sleep in? I don't know. But I struggle with positivity. But this is my reminder to you and to me to stay positive, because you aren't gonna get anywhere if you're negative. Like the whole saying, there's not enough time in the day is a very negative thing, but it's popularized. It's so popular today. I don't know why. Like it's an easy one to debunk, that there is enough time. Everyone gets the same amount of time. So let's just use it wisely and look at it that way. And then we will actually get our to-do list done that way. And like this, we will actually get this stuff done. Oh, there's my pen. But, be positive. So I did the math on this one. If you are negative for 2 hours every other day, you're just in a negative funk, and it's your fault that you're negative. And usually we have a bad day every other day, maybe that's just me. But let's say you have a bad amount of time every other day, 2 hours a day, every other day, 2 hours every other day, and you have that for a year. That adds up to 365 hours, good math, of complaining a year. And 365 hours a year amounts to about 7 weeks a year. 7 weeks, which is almost 2 whole months. And that's like 24-hour periods too. Almost 2 whole months of being negative. So imagine having 2 months in a year of being negative. That's what you're living with if you're complaining for 2 hours every other day. So just think about that in the perspective of life. That's just something you don't need, right? So stay positive and keep that light on, because you got to remember that you're serving people who need you. And when other people need you, it kind of brings out a sense in you of, I am obligated to help this person, so I'm going to be positive right now, where I'm at right now, and where I'm going to be tomorrow, and the next day. And the next day, I'm going to keep towards my goals, and I'm going to get excited about this. So make sure you are not doing everything yourself, and you are managing your time well, because people need you, and you need them. So just work at that. So thanks for sticking around, and I hope you have a good night. I'm going to get to bed because I'm getting kind of tired. It was an off day for me, but so I took a nap. I don't usually take naps, so that's saying something. Now it's bedtime. So hope you have a good day wherever you're at, and we will talk to you later.